He is John Mcnamara, the Vice President of Government Affairs of the Michigan Restaurant Association. Checking him via Zoom. Mr. McNamara, thank you for joining us here again today on the MegaCast.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
They gave me the day off last time you were here. We didn't get a chance to meet, so I'm glad to get a chance to chat with you today.
Sure.
Thank you very much for being here.
Absolutely.
So, pretty big day. Governor announced a press conference right at the beginning of our show. And to quickly recap for folks, I know you saw it, so correct me if I'm wrong. We are opening up dental offices and optometrist offices and veterinary offices. Those are going to be opening on May 29th. We are going to be opening up auto showrooms in a couple of days as well. 10 people or less by appointment. Retail is opening. 10 people or less by appointment in retail. It's a little bit better than curbside. Mr. McNamara, I do not see restaurants on this list, but I imagine that was not a big surprise for you today.
It was not a big surprise at all. We obviously had some heads up from the governor's office. The press conference was coming, and that we were not going to be a part of it. And we, first of all, want to thank Governor Whitmer for opening up Region 6 and 8 before a busy Memorial Day weekend. We obviously had some heads up on that as well. So it's been a great working relationship working with her and her staff. And, we're looking forward to continuing to open up restaurants responsibly as we can.
So, Dave Lorenz of Travel Michigan, I assume. I had him on a couple of minutes ago, and I said, Dave, I'm going up north this weekend, and I'm going to report. In fact, I'm leaving later on today to report on how things go this weekend, and I want to see firsthand what's going on. Dave, you can't go up north. But, listen, I have a place up there, and I'm going to be reporting. It's going to be all work. I just want to assure you and everyone listening, when I go to a bar at midnight tonight with my camera, there'll be no consumption whatsoever, because that would be crossing the line. But it is going to be, in all seriousness, it is going to be interesting to see how this weekend goes, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who's going to be watching.
It's going to be interesting, and I would get on my knees and beg if it wouldn't take me out of the camera shot, but it's going to be critically important that everyone who goes, be patient, be understanding, and give staff and restaurants time to adjust to this new normal. No one's ever done this before. And if this goes well, then hopefully we can start to reopen other regions in the state, and everyone can start to dine out again. But as the governor said, if it does not go well, she will be watching, and then she'll take that into consideration when opening up other regions in the rest of the state. So a lot is riding on Northern Michigan and the UP this weekend in doing this well and doing it responsibly.
Well, and that's why I want to go, because it's just like this show. You see CNN, you see what's going on in Fox News, you see the Michigan TV stations and the big media. They do the best they can, but they don't always get the entire story. And when you get really local and you go look for yourself, sometimes you find things that are different than maybe what has been reported by one reporter who characterizes what's going on everywhere. And I'm not going to spin the story, but I am going out and I'm going to look to get the real deal. And based on what I've seen going to my grocery store, and based on what I've seen going to my retail establishments, and based on what I've seen going to the other places that have been open, people in Michigan have been doing an unbelievably good job following the rules.
Yeah, they have. I think most recently I saw a grade of B+ or A-, depending on the region, of everyone sort of following the rules and doing their part to get this over with as quickly as possible. Obviously, no one's happy about it. Nobody saw this coming. But, as Michiganders tend to do, we rally and adapt quickly, and we all want to see this over and be able to enjoy as much of summer as we can out in pure Michigan.
John McNamara is with us. He is the Vice President, Government Affairs, Michigan Restaurant and Lodging Association. John, what kind of things are you advising to those that will be opening this weekend in northern Michigan?
So obviously, outdoor dining, even though it's outdoor, the tables still need to be 6 feet apart. Anytime, in between guests, wipe down tables, wipe down chairs. Inside, the same thing. Everything 6 feet apart. Constant sanitizing, things like doorknobs and handles and things like that, wiping that down. A lot of people are going to be using single-use menus so that, once one guest touches a menu, they're going to recycle that piece of paper, but another guest is not going to touch it. So we're even seeing some guests put table tents on the tables with a QR code so people can pull out their smartphone and see the menu that way. So, items like that, we're going to see a limited menu. Obviously, there's going to be some supply chain issues. They have not been able to get deliveries. So you're going to see a limited menu. But anything they can do to keep people 6 feet apart and sanitize as much as possible. Signs everywhere educating patrons on the proper way to sort of handle this new normal. But we put together about a 29-page document called our roadmap to reopening a few weeks ago, and that's been in the hands of our members and really anyone who went to our website to download it. So they've had a lot of time to sit there and generate and figure out how they can do this. Unfortunately, they're going to have to sort of do it live for back of a letter term this weekend and see how it goes.
Well, you've talked to your members, and you guys do a great job. And I know your members, they only want the best. They want to be able to open. They want to be able to continue to stay open. And we don't want to screw this up this weekend and the next week or two up in northern Michigan because, that everyone's watching and there'll be a grade given out and it will impact, whether we like it or not, it's going to impact what happens around the rest of the state. So it's a partnership, though. And, John, that's why I'm glad to talk to you today because all the restaurants can do everything they're supposed to do, but we have to do what we're supposed to do. So I just want to double check. So we probably should wear our mask into the restaurant and then take it off when we're eating. Is that what we should be doing?
Take it off when you're eating, and even once you're seated at a table with whoever you arrived with, you can take it off. And I would encourage everyone, if you're meeting friends, that's okay, but do your best to arrive together. Even if you can drive together, that helps as well. But really, once you're seated at the restaurant, you can take that mask off. Your server is going to have a mask on likely the entire time, except when she's taking your order or if you ask her a question about something, then he or she will take it off at that point and do that. But you're going to see a lot of staff with masks on the entire time.
Yeah, and I like what you said about using technology. Why not? Why use a menu when you could do it digitally on your smartphone and the QR code on the table tent? That's a really good idea. So we'll see all that going on. And I just want to remind people, too, we're not supposed to be getting in our cars and driving anywhere. The stay-at-home order is still in effect, and this is an Oakland County show. And people in Oakland County, if you have a place up north, it's okay to go up there and do the work that you have to do to get it ready. And, of course, if you are, you're going to go out and have a bite, maybe have a beer. But we're not. The campgrounds aren't open. Northern Michigan is really. If you don't have a need and a reason to go up there, you're not supposed to be going up. I assume.
That's correct.
Is that your read on it, or is that what you're seeing?
Right. So yeah, I mean, it's clear in the executive order that campgrounds are closed. But if you're going to and from a residence, that's completely allowed. And obviously, if you're up there, you need to eat something. So we would encourage you to go out. We would encourage you to just do it responsibly. And again, just have patience with staff, have patience with everyone there. And if you're seeing something that you don't like or you don't think is correct, I would just ask them either why they're doing that or ask them to do it that way. I would encourage you not then just to go on Facebook and trash whatever establishment it is or call the health department or something like that. Just give everyone a little bit of patience there. And, obviously we're in the service industry. We want to make our guests as comfortable as possible. And I think if you ask someone nicely to do it, they'll be happy to do it for you.
Yeah, and if you don't feel comfortable, don't go. But I think there are plenty of people. I don't know. I think a lot of people are excited about this, and I think it's going to go absolutely great. And we only want the best for the restaurants. A lot of us have been doing what we can to support the restaurants and their current carry-out status. And I just want you to know, John Mcnamara, the restaurants in my area in Oakland County, they've been so creative and inventive with setting up their safe carry-out procedures, and they all do it in a slightly different way. They got maybe a plexiglass barrier, and a lot of the drive-thrus have done a really good job with that. We've seen a lot of creativity, and it's been a lot of extra work for people to be able to comply, but they're out there doing it each and every day. So congratulations to you and to your members.
Yeah, well, I mean, that credit all goes to our members for, essentially reinventing their business model overnight so they can continue to feed people. As I mentioned before, 51% of the meals in this country are provided by a restaurant. So if restaurateurs across the state were not finding ways to do this, then there wouldn't be food on the shelves at grocery stores. So all the credit goes to them for what they've done so far.
Can the restaurants make money doing, I hope you don't mind me asking, can they make money this way?
Most of them cannot. I mean, they can maybe enough to get by, but for the vast majority of them, they are either operating at a slight loss or maybe making a little bit of money. But for most of them, this is just a way to, keep some employees there and then feed the community as well. But I mean, we're seeing, people's whose numbers are down as high as 70 to 80% during this time.
And are the communities cooperating? Because I think right now, if the weather is going to be nice this weekend and we're coming into the summer, why not move tables outside? It only makes sense, opens up a little more space. Is that working, or do the restaurants, are they running into challenges and problems with the municipalities in northern Michigan, allowing them that space, or don't we know yet?
Nope, we started working on that about 10 days ago. We sort of took a model from the city of Tampa, Florida, where they started doing that. And the governor's office and the Michigan Liquor Control Commission, as well as local municipalities, have been incredibly helpful in basically saying, we'll work with you in order, as long as you guys are doing this responsibly and you're acting in what you think is best. They've been great to work with. So you're going to see some tables in parking lots. You're going to see some tables maybe, onto some, if it's next to a public park, into some public space. So you're still going to see some creative solutions up there this weekend. And when we continue to open, you're going to see those solutions across the state. But that's a cheers really to, again, the legislature, the governor's office, the Liquor Control Commission, realizing how important this industry is and giving us the flexibility to operate in this unprecedented new normal.
I don't know if you want to dare a guess. Do you have any idea when we may see all this in Oakland County?
I think that really depends how it goes this weekend. I think if it goes well this weekend, then I think you could see mid to late June some patio seating in Metro Detroit, and you could see some reduced capacity indoors. But if it doesn't go well this weekend, she's made it very clear that Governor Whitmer said, this is a test, and I'm gonna look at this. So, we're gonna have to see how it goes this weekend. We're gonna have to watch the cases continue to decline, but we're hopeful here sooner than later that Oakland County and the rest of the state is going to be open in a different and limited capacity, but open in some way.
All right, John. Well, I'll have all my video. If you want any of my video for Northern Michigan, I'll have it for you. And I expect we're going to see a very good result. We'll talk to some people and report down here because people down here want to know what's going on with all this too. So for a necessity, I need to get up to my place this weekend. So we might as well find out what's going on, right?
Absolutely.
All right. John, thank you. Really good to meet you. I look forward to doing this in person. I cannot wait till you and I could sit down, break bread, have a beer at one of your restaurants here in Oakland County, okay? So can we just put that on our calendar and we'll do it as soon as we can?
We absolutely can.
All right, very good. He is John Mcnamara, Vice President of Government Affairs, Michigan Restaurant and Lodging Association.